Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. With every broadcast, we are more and more advanced in our actualization of who and what we are. And that's what I'm celebrating today with all of you. Because now the name, the Advancement Center, means so much more. When we look around, our GPS reads beyond all worlds, and we recognize immediately the golden tone of truth when we hear it, because it rings within our very being, and we see the light of knowingness in the eyes of one we call friend, and know that we can share our deepest knowingness. That's what this is all about. We're all advanced and advancing all the time. You all know how much I love the dawn. In fact, this morning on Facebook, you know how it tells you your memories? And 5 years ago, I posted this picture, and it said, Barbara's broadcast is today. And there's the dawn that just comes up behind those trees. I didn't think I could get that on my iPad, but I did, so that's great. Okay. So we adore sunrises, and I photograph as many as I can and post them. And we adore sunsets. And we are most blessed because we have both in our view. And sharing this with you is the joy of being here. This morning I came across exactly what I want to impart to you. So it popped up, I read it, and I said, oh my gosh, I don't know when this was written, but it's perfect. And it says, the capability of the human species is far beyond anything that has been discovered. Now I'm going to start at the beginning. As you enter a new day, therefore the dawn and the picture, there is nothing to note unless you have something left over from yesterday. Everything comes flooding into your world with a sense of newness that cannot be captured, and still there is nothing to note. As you listen to the sounds around you, there is a tone of familiarity, but everything is new and filled with excitement from nowhere. All plans are made in an instant, and the action begins before you even see what comes next. Every moment leads to another, and the miracle of your existence bursts into life to demonstrate the vast capability that you bring to the world. What has been delivered in the first few moments of your day is more than you can consume with 10 years of intense study under the present system of education. Your natural process of awakening to the day brings with it an enormous amount of data that is so brilliant that it is rarely considered in the light of the normal day. The process of awakening exposes your being in ways that allow the flow of everything you can possibly need for life. This is quickly filtered by the brain, and what is considered foreign is immediately blocked from your vision and your experience throughout life. The data and the brilliance remains to be rekindled when least expected. This is how the impossible can happen with ease, and the information that you hold can suddenly come to the surface and surprise everyone. I don't know when this was written, but I love the title. It's called No Limit to Humanity. One moment, please. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to continue for a bit more because it's so perfect. The capability of the human species is far beyond anything that has been discovered to date, and there is much room for expansion within the confines of our present understanding. Once we remove the confines of having to understand, our capabilities increase enormously, and a new arena appears to accommodate our performances. We are no longer in the world of intense competition. We are in the world of harmony, magic, and miracles, where our capabilities are endless and never measured against anything. That really says it all. And I found it thrilling. It's just amazing to me that we have all of this at our fingertips. I give you moments to digest that because there are no limits. We are told that time and time again here at the Advancement Center, where we are always advancing. In these times, there appears to be much happening in the world. And I am here to tell you that we have all been handed the keys to every locked door that magically opens and reveals the truth. And you all know exactly where I'm going from there. Robert brought in Simeon and his message yesterday on his broadcast. And it was while I listened, it became apparent that I was here to bear witness to the absolute and to share it far and wide. And I did. I posted the URL of the recording on my Telegram account on the internet. And Yvette in Germany and I have been exchanging emails and I sent her the recording. And we were both filled with joy. It's built in my genes. It's part of my makeup. Never to sit on the good news, but to share it and watch people's hearts breathe freely and feel good. Because I know that good news is nourishment for everyone. Yeah. And I have that opportunity because 8 times a week, I put up the invitations to the Advancement Center broadcasts on Facebook. The first one reads, "Tomorrow, David Best." And then the next day I write, "Today, David Best's live web broadcast." And I'm feeling that there are so many people who like and love. What a wonderful vehicle for me to put a message, more than just the time and date of the broadcast. So yesterday, I put the invitation with Simeon's words. And it was heard and read and referred to. You're sitting with diamonds to give away to everyone. And this is what is on that Facebook page. I know you'll be familiar with these words, but you can't hear them enough. This is the climax. And it continues on the way to a perfection that changes every day, but is held stable by you being on top of the wave, holding the distinct vibration of your personal signature and feeling everything before it comes into your world. This is the ultimate. This is the point where everybody feels their capability in honoring one another as you hold your specific part of the vibration in a secure manner to bring balance into everything. Know that you have achieved an enormous amount and there's no more work to do, but you will continue to make a difference in many, many different ways because you've taken a stand and you've decided that's enough. That's thrilling to me. That's enough. The jig is up. And we know the truth. We know the end of the story. And we are holding to that. Yeah. And if by any chance anyone is on this broadcast who has not or was not on the broadcast yesterday, go there. It's what everyone wants in the heart of their hearts. Wow. Well, isn't it funny how one day I read something from my journal and so many people have responded that now it's part of my broadcast. So here's my journal. Wow. I wonder who's going to read this 500 years from now. Okay. Oh, on Wednesday, the date of that happening in Washington, D.C. Dear Simeon, another charade we must live through. The river / sea of lives has parted again, and we can see clearly and exactly where everyone is standing with regard to the truth, God, nature, etc. I can count those who are in opposition and only pray the best is yet to come. Today was a disappointment to my expectations, shared with Robert, and Robert's writing was the ultimate antidote, the truth. Quite a revelation. Now I yearn for your words. And Simeon wrote, you requested, and here's my reply. You and Robert are on top of the wave, and your combined wonder and words are elevating others to see all the earthly happenings from the tops of all of their waves. Continue and watch, knowing that your conscious knowing is affecting the universe right now and will continue. Know that you are on constant call. We love your responsiveness. Your loving friend, Simeon. And last night at 9:02, I wrote, Dear Simeon, I just realized that I've never before experienced the deep joy as being present to hear your message today. It felt like millions of prayers being answered, and those millions thrilled to be alive at this time. Today's message just lit up the spark within us all. Once again, my broadcast is coming up, and I long to hear your words. And here it comes. Destroy the picture that is being publicly portrayed, and know that what you heard on Robert's broadcast is the absolute truth that your spirit has been bringing you to all along. Dear Robert, is the greatest friend to the world by providing me with a platform from which to present the most important news, the truth that has been kept from the people until very recently. Waking to the truth is paramount. Barbara, your fervency is advancing peace. The Advancement Center is truly a beacon, shining the light on the truth of being fully awake. We're always in attendance at every broadcast and relay your broadcasts throughout the galactic field of operations. Your loving friend forever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share. And once again, I offer you a treasure that is at your fingertips on your keyboard. Go to youngsight.com, and that's sight with a GHT, and enjoy the banquet with every entry and ultimate truth told over many years. What I read to you before about humanity cannot be stopped, Robert wrote that years ago. Yeah. Now, some of these have been translated into Spanish, German, Portuguese. Now you can share it all over the world. I love being with you. And by the way, it's Elizabeth in Costa Rica who she translated many, many, many writings into Spanish. Mm-hmm. And her mother tongue is German. So we're all over. And this is what Elizabeth said after the broadcast yesterday. She said, she texted, no words, for nothing, just blast after blast of infinite and evermore joy, love, gratefulness, fireworks of relief. That's Elizabeth. Don't you get the flavor? Yeah. And our dear Adrian text, there are no words to fully convey the almighty relief and joy at the declaration that this is enough, ushering in this new and glorious world for humanity to flourish like never before. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Adrian. And this morning, I received a request from one of our dear ones requesting the account of January 17th, 1986, the day that Robert came to Earth. So let me know, and I'll send it to you. Okay. I didn't even look at the time. David always speaks directly to my heart. And what he writes is so important that it must be heard more than just that once. And here again, if there's anything that you hear that you want to keep reading again and again, let me know. But right now, this must be put out there. And it's called knowing. Because isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what we want more than anything else? Is to know the truth? Knowing. The difference between knowing and believing is that you live what you know, and you only are able to speak about what you believe. Belief is in the mind. Knowing is in your being. Belief requires proof and is laden with doubt. Knowing requires no proof and is laden with action. If you say you know something, but you are living something different, then you don't actually know it. You believe it. Belief and reaction are like cousins. They know each other very well. Knowing and non-reaction are like beloveds. They know each other intimately. Until you have a direct experience of something, you can't possibly know it, even if it is told to you by someone that you trust with your life. That is called belief. But once you have your own direct personal experience of something, no one will be able to tell you otherwise. Even if it is someone that you trust with your life, that is called knowing. Without this knowing, there are constant questions and doubts that plague our lives. When you know that you are the son or daughter of your parents, you have a peace and freedom that cannot be disturbed. It is a foundational knowing that gives safety, security, peace, and stability to your life. Just by knowing this one thing, you unconsciously are free from reactions that would appear frequently if you just have a belief about what your parents were. It is true in everything. As I said before, you can live the reality of your knowing, but you can only speak about the reality of a belief. So what do we know? We know that we are eternal. Or do we just believe that we are eternal? If we live in fear of death, then we are only able to believe that we are eternal. If we live outside the fear of death, then we know that we are eternal. The things we must do to be human take us headlong into the world of belief because they, like a newborn baby, demand to be fed, demand that we give this physical existence our full attention, and we forget that this is not who we are. And as we begin to focus so intently on feeding this physical being, we begin to forget what we know. And therefore, we live in the reality of belief where we've lost the safety and security of knowing the truth of who we are. And by only believing who we are instead of knowing, we have no choice but to react in fear and in need like one who has never known who their parents are and who can so easily be frightened by the enormity of life. So now I implore you to live the life of a knower, for that is who we are, and watch the show from the world beyond worlds, that room with a view, and let the spark of creation in you be a beacon for all beings to join you in the world of knowing. From this day forward and forever. And this is what has been happening. We know what we know, and our numbers are growing. Thank you, David. I don't know how, but all of a sudden, as I read your words, it popped in. It's a memory from a very long time ago. I was about 7, and I was driving in the car on Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, with my dad. And behind, in the rearview vision mirror, I saw an ambulance, and it said, invalid. I wrote it down here. I don't know exactly what I said, but yeah, and this is what I said. People are valid, but are being made invalid. That was pretty, yeah. You simply saw that. And then comes that other feature that I love sharing with you, and that is my art class. So here is what happened this week. And here it is. But I have some very good news that goes along with this. So here it is. When I first looked at it, I said, that's impossible. And then I just kept following what he was doing, and this came out. But then today I got an email from Mandar, our wonderful instructor, and he has broken it down, and he took pictures of everything he did as he was creating his masterpiece. So that is extremely helpful. And then, of course, he shows all of his students holding up their work. So if you're at all interested, it would be my pleasure to forward that email to you. I just found it wonderful. As I have found this visit with you is so precious and so wonderful. And the reason I took the art class in the first place is because the skies around here are just amazing. And no one catches them better than Genya. She takes the photograph of these amazing clouds, and that's what I want to learn how to do with my pastels. And thank you once again to all you wonderful friends who your birthday gifts to me have been amazing because they have supported the art. Yeah, it's wonderful. And of course, I could go on and on, but I'll just hold to the love, to the harmony, and to thank you all for visiting today. It's been a joy. And now I wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a truly magic future. Thank you.